Thank you. Before we get started this morning, if those of you who would not object, I'd like to start out with prayer this morning. So if you want to bow your heads, I would enjoy that. Our gracious Heavenly Father, we thank you for this time that we can come together as a community and simply do your work as our community itself. We ask that you be with those that are struggling today with this assassination that's happened, and we ask that all of our government leaders and all of the people that are in the limelight at various times, that we don't need assassinations going on. And so those that are struggling with that, please help us with that position. At the same time, our Heavenly Father, we ask that you be with our company and our county. Please keep everyone safe as their employment goes on. Those that are on the road, keep them safe from having any kind of accidents. Guide us and direct us today that we may make good decisions with you in mind at the same time. All this I pray in your name. Amen. Amen. Thank you. All right, the first thing that we have is public comment. And quite honestly, I would like to see if maybe we change the public comment just a little bit. I know that everybody is here for various reasons, but maybe we could make the public comment after a couple of items have been presented, so that way, you may be aware of what's going on. So at the first, I think, on our schedule was Liz, if you would be so kind enough to start us off this morning.
Good morning. Good morning. All right, I'm going to start off. I've got two things. I don't know if you wanted me to just deal with one now and then come back to the other later. You let me know, but I'll start off with this from the area plan. So I believe the item you wanted me to present first is the area plan held a hearing, which was properly advertised and noticed. They held that hearing on 9/2 of 2025. And they heard whether or not some land north of Conagra should be rezoned from agricultural to industrial, light industrial specifically, not heavy. And the area plan heard testimony. Actually, Kevin sits in the area plan, so he was present. I think Bert also attended to hear the comments that were submitted that evening. Ultimately, the Area Plan Commission is their recommending body, just to bring you a recommendation from a land use perspective to take into consideration with other items that you may choose to look at as you make this decision. They were unable to reach consensus on a vote, and so they chose, instead of holding it up without clear direction for why to delay it, to go ahead and forward it to the county commissioners for action with a neutral or no recommendation. Your options as a legislative body, of course, you can proceed with hearing comment. I have some additional stuff to give you at the time that you're ready to do that. You can continue or table this until a future point in time when you would prefer to discuss it. You do have 90 days to choose to act or not act from the date it was certified to you, which was 9/5 of 2025 and now being presented. If you do not act in 90 days, then in this case, by state law, the action or proposal to rezone fails, because if the Plan Commission gives either a negative or a neutral recommendation and the legislative body does not act, then the rezoning does not take place, versus if we gave a positive recommendation, then in 90 days it would take place for lack of action. So I just wanted to make sure that you and anyone else following it understands what that process looks like at the point of which you're ready to discuss that, or should you choose to do so today, then I have some other stuff to present. But that's the basic recommendation, and that's LUPAC 0925391, forwarded to you from the Plan Commission.
Okay, Liz, I thank you. Why don't you go ahead and present the other one too, and we'll just finish both of your presentations, and if you don't mind.
Okay, did you want to, the other one is on unsafe buildings, so
That's fine.
Okay,
That's
all right. I didn't know if you want to decide what to do with this one first. Okay. The other one, hang on, I got too many notes here. Here we go. This is the house in Antioch that we have discussed numerous times, that has a failed septic system and thus has been declared unfit for habitation by the health department, and we've started an order towards condemnation on. And there has been, as of September 15th, so yesterday at 10:25 a.m., no septic permit, no moving forward, no plan from the health department. Nash Smith confirmed that. Kat was kind enough to give me some notes here this morning. I won't take credit for this, but to give you a review of the history on this one, we've been dealing with it since last year. On the 8th of last December, the commissioners gave it a first fine of $250. That was then placed as a lien for taxes unpaid. January 21st, you gave it a second fine of $500, again unpaid, and a lien was placed on the taxes. On April 1st, the third fine of $1,000 was levied, and again, that lien was placed. On June 3rd, a fourth fine of $2,500 was placed, and again, not paid, so Tom placed the tax lien. And then the last one, when we last discussed it, again, you did $2,500 on a fifth fine. That has not been paid. It was sent yesterday to Tom's office to place as a tax lien. Meanwhile, in June, we did mow it and sent a bill for $420 for mowing that property, and it was not paid, so a tax lien has been placed. So it remains non-compliant. I know that this group of commissioners has been much more gradual in trying to give people choices, and that's not a bad thing, because the goal is ultimately to try to get a house back on the tax rolls properly usable, not tear things down if there's a way around it. In a house like this, the problem isn't necessarily the structure, even though it's not inhabitable. So at this point, really, you only have two options. You can place a sixth lien of up to $2,500, or you could choose to start with the condemnation process, which would mean we would post a 10-day notice telling them to tear it down, or we were going to move forward with taking bids, and then we'd come back and you'd decide if you were ready to take bids, and we'd start down that road of clearing the property. It's your discretion which way, but I know Kat was kind enough to write this out, because last time we discussed it, neither you guys nor I could remember what we had done when, so.
Thanks. Tell Kat, thanks for the report.
Will do.
Mr. Myers?
I believe we could, I think we know that we need to go the long way. Let's go ahead and put in another fine of $2,500, and then that way they know that we've given them every chance that we can.
Liz, it's a corporation that owns it? It's not an individual, right?
That's correct. It's a large corporation. They own a lot of, and I don't have any issue with rental property, but this particular corporation owns a large quantity of rental property throughout the U.S. Historically, I know Kat previously worked for the city of Frankfurt. This was not a corporation that they had a lot of luck with enforcement on. So Kat has not been surprised that this hasn't been moving quickly.
I sort of agree with Mr. Myers in that, let's give them every hope to recommend it's their property.
Well, and the house is, if the septic was fixed, this isn't a house where the roof is caved in
Yeah.
yet.
Yeah. Let's try it once more with the fine of $2,500, and quite honestly, make notes that this, in my opinion, should be the final. We'll go to condemnation the next time. We will have to seek other avenues at this point in time, so.
Do we
How
have
long?
a time frame that we have to?
That's what I was going to ask. So what typically happens with, I'll take this back to Kat. Kat will send them another letter saying, hey, this is your fine. You have, I think it's usually 30 days to pay. And then if they don't pay, then it gets sent to Tom. So at what point do you want us to bring it back to you? At the point of the deadline for payment, sooner, later?
I think after you give them 30 days and then bring it back here. If they haven't paid it, then we'll start the condemnation process.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would agree with that. And I would also, when you send it, obviously, speak of the $2,500 lien that we're placing again, but I'd also add up the total that's due so that they realize how much money they're going to take to clean it.
They already are aware. It's in the tax sale list right now.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
because they're actually getting the rest of it on the tax bills.
Okay, I want to make sure that they're aware of how much they need to do to clear it up.
Yeah, well, I mean, what we can probably do is just sum up and say, you've been fined this much already, now you have this additional
Exactly.
fine. Because I don't want to confuse them and them thinking they need to pay us that amount, because
Right.
they would only pay us what we've currently levied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Motion?
Motion to do another $2,500 fine and come back in 30 days. And
I'll second that, obviously. Motion carries 2-0.
Those were my items, other than whatever direction you want to give on the
Right.
first one.
Well, I think at this point, we'll go to the first one then and try to, answer some questions there. And obviously, I'm talking about the ordinance that the area plan has made to us in reference to the data center. So I'd like to address that just a little bit before we have any comment from the audience. First of all, we will not be making any kind of a decision at all today. As everybody's aware, we are short one individual, and that's the president of our commissioners, who was not able to make it today, and thus that's why I'm taking over his position for the moment. But we will not be making any decision one way or the other. So, if in fact you want to speak, you're more than welcome. But at the same time, you need to know that, we're simply going to sit here and listen. And quite honestly, in that position, we will be tabling it, I believe. And that's because of the lack of information that we know, or I know. There's a lot of information, both good and bad, that we need to discuss and look at. And quite honestly, I've not had time to really do my research. There's a lot of research that we want to do. I'd like to do a tour, and that's been offered to us. I want to check other organizations that have either had or not had a data center. A lot of information that needs to be done, and a lot of questions that I have. So therefore, not only because of my president being missing in action, but at the same time, I don't have the information to make a decision one way or the other. And I was elected to simply look at both sides of the table and try to make the best decision that I can. So in doing that, we want to take the time, or I want to take the time to do that. So, Mr. Myers,
Well, I agree with that. Obviously, it's a very important vote, and we all three need to be here. And I'm also very aware of a lot of the concerns from the citizens. And up to this point, I think the communication could have been better from all parties. I don't like not knowing the end user. I actually do question the actual location that they're talking about, because it takes away a rail spur opportunity. And there are still questions, I believe, in regards to infrastructure and the smaller properties around where that would be located for the rezoning. So if it takes 2 weeks or 2 months, I plan on doing a lot of research, and I will not be rushed, if not necessary, into making a critical decision that will affect our community for many years. So with that, I'll make a motion that we table this decision and until we feel we're ready to
make a decision.
make the decision.
Okay. And I'm going to second that motion that we table it until we have done just exactly as you said. So motion carries 2-0.
Sorry, just for clarity for me, because I want to make sure I'm following what you guys would like. I have received a couple things that I do need to pass on relative to additional information and communication from the applicant, but I want to make sure and do that when you want me to do that. So do you want me to wait until you bring it back off the table, or are you wanting that information now?
Well, it would be nice if obviously Mr. Jordan Brewer was here to also hear those additions.
And I'm happy to wait. It's
Okay.
not a big deal. I just want to make sure that if you're wanting to take information this morning, that I give it to you.
Well, again, we can, but I'd rather have all three of us hear the same information, so therefore
That's
there's
just
no
fine.
doubt as to which way your recommendation's coming from the area plan.
Perfect.
So my suggestion would be that we hold off.
That is perfect. I'm taking your suggestion.
Okay,
So,
thank you.
is there anything else you need from me?
No, yeah, very good. Thank you for the 2 reports.
Thank you.
You want to do that?
Yeah. All right, now I'm going to skip back up and try to get back on our agenda for public comment. Is there any public comment that we have today? Anybody wanting to speak? Yes, ma'am? If you'd be kind enough, yeah.
It'll be very short.
It's on recorded, so,
I hope so.
yeah, that's exactly.
Hi, I'm Brenda
Brenda,
Tolson. I'm sorry.
nice to meet you.
Get kind of nervous when I speak. So I was at the meeting last night. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, ma'am?
Because we could hear
Yeah,
we could hear the other lady very well. I was at the meeting last night. Very, very informative, by the way, and thank you for that. There was very, were you guys there last night? Okay.
No.
I mean, I'm kind of disappointed you weren't because
No.
there was a lot of information. There was one comment that stood out to me. We talked about a lot of stuff. We talked about tax abatements, the taxes. There was a lot of information there last night. The one thing that stood out to me the most at the end was someone asked if, and I'm sorry, I can't remember your name, Don, if he could guarantee a closed loop system for the water. And with my understanding, since he didn't know who was going to buy it, that he could not guarantee a closed loop system for that property. Which that to me and the other concerned citizens, water is a big issue in this particular project. And he could not guarantee that it would be bought by someone that was going to have a closed loop system. And that's really, I just want to make sure that you guys are aware of that, which I'm sure you are. I'm sure you asked those questions, but that was really the biggest concern. There was a lot of concerns last night, don't get me wrong. But the part that he couldn't guarantee a newer system with a closed loop was very concerning, I think, to the citizens of Clinton County.
Okay.
And that's all I just
I
want to say.
thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Anyone else wishing to make a public comment today? No, we will move on then. Mr. Light, would you like to come forward?
Good morning.
Morning.
All right. We were recently made aware of a grant opportunity out of the Indiana Geographic Information Office. It's called a SEED grant, which stands for Sowing Enriched and Enhanced Data Sets, which basically is a up to a $30,000 grant to improve some of our GIS layers. And what their goals are and what they're prioritizing is GIS layers that would improve our 911 data. So they're focusing on our street layers and our address points and clearing up and making that information better. So I've got Mr. Tim Ellerding from Avon March that is here to present some information for us, and they're going to try to help us apply for this grant. So Tim, if you want to provide some information, I appreciate it.
May I approach and give you this here? You want one, sir? There you go. There you go. There's one.
Thank you, sir.
Why not? I got
Yeah, you
access.
might as well.
Thank
There you
Do the
go.
whole thing.
Yes, good morning. Thanks, Zach. My name is Tim Ellerding. I'm with Avon Marsh Consultants, and we are working with, right now, about a dozen counties here in the state on this program. And what it is basically it's a way to upgrade your GIS system, the data within your GIS system. We find that a lot of communities in a lot of counties, there's areas where the data may be a little bit weak or maybe not upgraded to what's called the enhanced 911 or next generation 911 standards. And so through the Indiana Geographic Information Office, as Zach said, they have established this grant program, which is a $30,000 grant to help communities or counties get their GIS up to the new standards. It is a no-match grant, so it's actually, and I don't like the word free money, but it's money that does not require a local match. And so, in essence, you're guaranteed up to $30,000. And there are some indications that as we move forward with this, there may be additional funds available, but that's not a guarantee at this point in time. So, we've been working with the IGIO quite a bit on how best to implement this throughout the state of Indiana, and with about the dozen counties right now that we're working with. So what I've given you is sort of a 6-step process on how we approach this grant, or how we approach this program. And I could go through it, but basically it's looking where you are, asking where we need to get and how do we get there. It's the old, football coach's strategy. Where are we? Where do I want to go, and how do I get the team there? And that's really what we're doing here with this program, is looking at all the information that you have, determining, okay, where do we need to go, at what level, and then how do we get there? Our biggest goal at the end of this is to make sure that we're leaving you better off than when we showed up, and also with a program or a process where you're able to keep that data at that high level that is needed with the new 911 standards. So it's not like we walk away, give you a couple pieces of paper and say, good luck. We actually spend a lot of time with the community and with the people like Zach and everybody, and making sure that you've got the knowledge and the ability and the processes and the governance in place to continue this, as once we no longer are needed through this. This is the way we have worked with this program, is that we will actually bill you on a monthly basis, but we don't require payment until you receive the money from the state of Indiana. And so never will you have money out of your pocket. It's always going to be more or less just a transfer of funds from the state to then ultimately to us. And it comes in 3 different installments based upon level of achievement. So that's how we would work. It's about a 6-month process overall is really what we think with this. And so I could go through this if you want, but really it's sort of a 6-step process of, like I said, where are we, where do we want to go, and how do we get there? But I'd be more than happy to answer any questions. The grant is, we would be working with you to get the grant applied, to make the application for the money. The last date that we can do this is 1st of December. We would be doing it fairly quickly here. And so, but the end of the year is when the process of the program ends or stops. So any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them.
Any questions?
I didn't know if Renee had anything to add to that, or?
Liz does.
I say hand and
Yeah.
We had a meeting with him, with
Yeah.
Zach's office. Chris and I met. Tim was there, Liz's office was there, and we are all fully in support of this. It's needed. Of course, they are the GIS, masters.
Right.
I am not, but we rely on all of that information from them. So this is a perfect opportunity for us to meet those standards by using this money from the state, and also probably help them in their future as they continue on with the GIS.
good.
Okay.
Thank you, Renee.
Yeah, I just wanted to, sorry, I guess nobody could hear me earlier. I'll try to be shorter. I just wanted to sort of echo Renee's comments. Zach and I both work heavily with these layers and have since the county first took GIS, and we both learned with the system as it came in. In particular, there's many things that Zach and I would love to have that would make our lives easier. As I directly interface with 911 with Renee, with the addressing layer, which would be the 911 addressing layer, not what gets put in the assessor's office that people might happen to search. And then the roads layers, we became aware this last year that there's some state mandates that we're not fully in compliance with. And because we don't have a dedicated GIS person, both Zach and I have a whole nother scope of duties. The amount of time to train ourselves and to figure out how to basically redo some of these layers almost from scratch, because I don't want to get too technical, but we can't just sort of wave a magic wand. We actually would have to rebuild a significant amount of data while not losing what we currently have to allow our county to meet the state requirements for 911 and those systems. That's apart from the updating part. So I guess I wanted to just lend my voice of support. I think the fact that the state has money to help with this compliance, it would be amazing to take the opportunity, and it would help Zach and I both, and Renee in improving our services.
Okay, thank you. Zach, have you got anything you want to add to it at all?
That's it. We should have a public service agreement here between the commissioners and Avon March, and just we had asked for approval for that.
Yeah. It just so happens, Mr. Myers, if we could go ahead and approve this, and we'll have Jordan sign this as president. So if you,
I'll make a motion that we approve the service agreement.
and I will obviously second that. I appreciate your time and effort, and we'll make sure that Mr. Brewer gets a signature on this very quickly for you then.
Thank you.
Thanks, Zach.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Kaylee, I understand you've got some sick ones at home. I hope they're doing better.
Yes.
Okay,
It's ever a process with teeth and everything else with the little ones. So, but yeah, we're doing good. So, yes, so I'm the recorder. For those of you that don't know, I had sent you guys a proposal from US Imaging back in 2022. We asked for money, help with the council to finish a 29-year digitization project of our microfiche, because that's the only medium that we have those 29 years in. This year, as we're working to get those things released, we discovered that we were missing 4 different categories from the microfiche. It was an oversight on our end. They were not included in the original proposal. It was not intentional. But this is the proposal to clean up that last 4 categories. We met with council last week. I believe that they approved it. Again, we're just trying to get that cleared up. And this time they would not need to come to the office. We are going to send it via Pelican box. That would save the county a little over $3,000. Plus, it's such a small bit of information, and they have a really quick turnaround time. But it has GPS tracking, and again, no after-hour access needed. I wanted to note on the notes that I gave you, the original proposal was $141,892.02. The actual project cost was $125,962.79. So essentially, we did not pay roughly $16,000, and this proposal of $8,106.26 is still $7,822.97 underneath the original proposed project that was approved in 2022. So I just ask that you guys approve that so we can get that done and finish up that 29 years.
well, first of all, Kaylee, thank you for very effective and very detailed report. We appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to approve the
Yeah.
$8,106.26.
And I'll second that. So moved.
Okay,
Have you
thank
got it
you.
done yet?
Do what?
Do you have it done yet?
Yeah, I've got the proposal here. Signature page.
Thank you. Okay, next on the list, Amy Webster, Extension Program Assistant.
You'll notice that I am not Amy Webster, so
You're fooling me here.
I apologize. I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to do the same thing down here.
Don't step on
My
the
name is,
pedestal there.
all right, is that better? Okay. My name is Josh Winroat. I'm the area director. I've met with you guys a few times before on separate things. Amy couldn't be here today, so she asked me to come and give you an update of where we're at in the process with the program assistant position. And I brought Hannah here because she's nice and friendly, and that way you guys can say nice things to her, and you can say mean
Not
things to me if you
quite as
have. Exactly. So when I talked to Amy, she mentioned last week she had also gone to the council to talk about the funding change. There had been previously multiple part-time positions within the extension office, and to better adequately provide adequate coverage within the office, we wanted to move to 2 full-time positions. So that would allow Lucy and this other full-time position to cover lunches, to make sure that we have adequate coverage around holiday times and all those things. Amy currently has in the budget through the rest of the year from those 2 part-time positions that have already been absorbed to pay this position with benefits throughout the end of the year. They're just waiting on the rest of the funding from the county council to ensure funding for 2026. There's hope that that's going to be approved quickly, but there's no way to know that that position is going to be funded for next year. The big thing that Amy wanted me to share with you guys today is that she's done a division of duties between those 2 positions that have been shared with you all, and just was curious if you guys had any questions based on what had been shared.
Okay.
And if Amy didn't send those to you, I'll make sure she does send those to you. May have misunderstood her.
I'm just checking to see if we had that proposal is all.
Yep.
No, this is the service agreement for cleaning.
Okay.
I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
So I will have Amy send those to you. She's got the 2 different proposals. She wasn't asking for you guys to approve anything. She just wanted an update of where we were at in that process.
Right.
I'll make sure she sends those 2 different job descriptions so you can see the difference. They've already done a few of the things to make the flow in the office a little bit better. They've moved Lucy up. They've redone the actual entrance area so that it's true. Somebody comes to the window and they can be serviced instead of having to come back into the office and everything that had happened previously. So we appreciate all the support you guys have given as we've made some of the changes in the extension office as we do our best to serve the public as well as we possibly can.
Well, I'm aware of the changes and the fact that you guys have worked together to get that done. I personally am not opposed to it, and I'm sure Mr. Myers is probably the same way. As you may or may not know, we're crunching in the budget period right now.
Absolutely.
And so, we're almost as much in the dark as you are. We do have a freeze on hiring right now, and we were trying to get past October 1 to get there. But I was in the council meeting, and I think you've already got the funding to go. So if you're not really in a time crunch, obviously we'll take the information, and maybe if you could let us know,
Yep. And especially with Jordan not here today, we want you guys to have a
Exactly.
fully informed decision
We're-
in that.
you know,
I'm sure
I-
Amy will come back in 2 weeks and tell you anything you need to know.
Yeah, that would be great. If you would do that, that'll take the pressure off of us as not communicating with Jordan.
Understand
So,
completely.
and I know that there was communication back and forth with him, and like I said at the council meeting, I don't think there was an issue, but I don't want to
Agreed.
overstep my bounds and have the council mad.
You guys have not got the job descriptions yet because we haven't made it through the committee process, because we were waiting to see if they were gonna fund the insurance for
Correct.
26. So that's why you're not
Okay.
voting. Once they make, the council makes the decision whether or not they're going to fund the insurance and everything for 26, then we'll send the job descriptions to the commissioners to approve.
So if that,
No, that's great. Every county's a little bit different with their process, so
Sure.
I apologize for not being as aware as I should have
Jordan's
been.
aware of it just because he's on the committee.
Wonderful.
So he has seen the job description, and we've discussed it, but we decided to not move forward until we knew if the council was gonna.
Right.
okay. So if you don't mind, we'll just kind of
Absolutely.
tread water on that one, and then hopefully by the time that he comes back the next meeting or 2,
Yep.
then we'll be ready to rock and roll, I think.
Absolutely.
Appreciate your report.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amy.
I won't tell her you said that.
You were standing on a block there, weren't you? All right. Rick Campbell, our Highway Department.
Morning.
Good morning, Rick.
I wanted to start off by thanking my highway workers at the highway barn. We just recently paved 800 north from 29 to the East County line, and it took everybody to get that done. We had to pull people off of the sewer gang, and we had to pull people off of mowing, and I just wanted to thank all the guys for helping out and not complaining and helping get that job done. We finished that Friday.
Great.
I just wanted to thank everybody for all their hard work and all their help. I have the second invoice for the community crossings. There's actually two, one's a change order, so I would need the commissioner's signature so I could get these turned in and get these paid.
Good.
Do you
Go
guys
ahead.
have a copy or do you need these?
I
I
imagine.
don't have it.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Do you need to vote on this or?
Yeah,
Yes. Well, I've seen that. I'll make a motion that we approve the community crossings invoices.
invoices?
Yes.
Yeah, and I'll second that, obviously.
I had to, the surveyor asked me to fill out a letter saying that a gentleman could run his perimeter drain down the side ditch to the open ditch, and I did that. I guess there was a problem with the form, and I just wanted to know if they could go ahead with that project.
Rick has talked to me about this, and there was we didn't really have a form and a permit to do this, and it was made and filled out, and so I think not only, I want to make a motion to approve the form and then approve this perimeter drain, so that he could get his septic hooked up.
Hooked to that.
Yeah.
I know a little bit about it, and I too would agree that we need to do both. One, allow this gentleman to hook up and go into the drain itself, and obviously make it a little of exception, Rick, but leaving that on your hands. And then at the same time, I also would approve and agree with getting the form put together so that in the future we'll have a little more paperwork to go with it. So if you're making a motion.
I'll make that motion.
I will second that motion, Rick, to do both.
Thank you.
Motion carries 2-0. Rick, also, I want to comment, your crew also, for the work that they've been doing. They've really kind of, even in the heat and so forth, done a good job. You know, Marlboro Jefferson is great.
Yeah.
800, I was obviously aware and drove it, and a very nice job. And I think that new paver that you've got is almost like a toy to you guys. You guys have decided to really rock and roll with it.
Yeah, so it's working out good.
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 Thank you.
Rick,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Rick.
Okay. I think that's it for department heads.
Got a couple things.
Yep, well, that's, okay. Let's go to, all right.
Real quick. I think I've already got the answer on most everything. I talked to Tim Elston with some computer issues that he's going to address. I'll send a request to President Brewer so that he can make a call on it, but it's computers that are used for court and also for our detectives that some need an upgrade and other ones need some issues corrected on it. So I'll send that request to Brewer, Mr. Jordan Brewer, and the flip side of that is on the hiring of a records clerk. It's a position that is filled until this Wednesday. Council said, okay, and then I think having a conversation with Councilwoman Price and Cecily that we're going to wait till October. Is that, I would like to do it sooner, but are we waiting till October?
I think we pretty much made that commitment that we're going to wait till October 1st before we bring in, hire anybody.
Okay, those are the only two things that I had question on. So
Yeah, it's obviously close, but
I know it.
Take
It's
that.
it's one of those things, the advertisement and that.
Right.
And I took it from the last meeting with the commissioners that, hey, check with council. And if we're October, we're October.
I think that's where we're at.
Okay, thank you.
All right, going to old business. Service agreement for the extension office and cleaning.
Still not Amy.
Hi, Amy.
So, we have a proposal for an updated cleaning agreement. It'll be about similar to what the cost was before, split between the Learning Network and the Extension Office based on the space and the placement. It outlines all the services that will be provided. in that. And Amy feels like that this is the best way for us to move forward to make sure that the building is appropriately cleaned.
Okay. Looks like it's pretty straightforward.
I've seen this earlier. I don't see any issues. I don't have any questions, so I would make the motion to approve the service agreement.
And likewise the same. I will second that motion. And motion carries 2-0. So
Thank you much, gentlemen. Appreciate you today.
All right. The next one, resolution for Employees United Way Day. I'm not sure who's presenting that, if anybody.
No, I think they just discussed passing an or
Yeah.
resolution.
Prior to, yeah. If you remember, we didn't discuss that in
So
the
the
previous
Carroll don't have to
meeting, so-
come every year and ask for that.
Right. So I'll take, obviously,
Okay,
a motion.
Yeah, I'll make the motion that we approve we continue the United Way Day for 2026.
Motion carries 2-0. Let's get it.
Policy.
Okay, new business. First thing that's really very important is our 2026 holiday schedule. So I discussed with our administrative assistant that we should increase this to about 25 or 30 days since Jordan wasn't here. But she felt like we shouldn't maybe take that motion and do that. So it just so happens that it's been discussed before. So I think we need to act on it.
Yeah, I don't, it's not any different than it has been, so I'll make a motion to approve the holiday schedule for 2026.
And I'll second that as typed, regretfully. Motion carries 2-0. Can I make that regretfully at that time?
Stephen did come in.
Yeah.
Stephen is here.
Oh, good.
Yes.
Stop sign easement. We discussed this from Rossville, I believe. They had requested to have a stop sign
The
presented.
easement to install a stop sign
Do we have a?
on county.
Yeah, we do. That whole.
That's
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And I mean, we've already went through this, so I'll make a motion to grant the easement for the stop sign.
And again, since discussed and actually decided, we will make that motion 2-0, and that motion carries 2-0 also. All right, AT&T agreement.
This is going to EFAX. They're doing away with the Centrex copper lines, and we have to go to an EFAX system, so that's what that is.
And in this particular case, it's $2,160 a year for 180 months. And at the same time, we need
It's
Mr.
180 a month.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
And then we need Mr. Brewer's signature on this. So if you would, we can approve this today and then let Jordan sign this at a later date.
Okay, I'll make the motion to approve.
And I will second that also. So we'll hold that for Jordan's signature. Sign placement request. We have a request from the New Beginning Ministry for their pork chop dinner. Sounds good so far. To put obviously a sign on the courthouse lawn. It looks like starting date will be 9/27. So.
Well, that's the date of it's removed.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll make a motion to approve the sign request.
Yeah, yeah. And I will also second that. So till then, we're more than willing to let them have their sign in the courthouse property. So motion carries 2-0. Okay, department heads.
Morning, just a couple things. I've already thanked Rick, but I wanted you to know as well, I appreciated County Highway. They took some of our items last week down to the auction, and they did sell, and I appreciate them coming out and taking those items down for me. So I thanked Rick, but I wanted to let you know as well.
Thank you.
A reminder, Thursday is our LAPC seminar. Will be at 9 o'clock at the Frankfort Police Department. Friday, I attended Stronger Together, sponsored by Clinton County School Safety Commission and Tippecanoe's School Safety Commission. It was in Lafayette. It was an all-day seminar with several breakout sessions. It was excellent. Saturday, dispatch, we went downtown and we attended the Racy's Festival and just trying to, again, do a little community outreach. And we did that on Saturday. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else.
Oh, thank you. I wanted to attend that Friday
It was really good.
program.
It was
And
good.
it sounded good from.
Yes.
But I had other commitments on that same day, so I appreciate
Yeah.
your attending that.
Yes.
And hopefully we've got some good stuff out of it.
Yeah.
Good. Thank you, Renee,
Thank
very
you.
much. Next.
Melissa.
Yep. Ready to go. Just noticed that we have our Board of Health meeting, board meeting tonight, 5 PM at the Healthy Communities Board Room. That agenda has been posted. I want to clear a little bit. You spoke of the October 1st. What I recall is that we stood here with that it was not a freeze, but for new positions that were being posted. We were, of course, in the middle of an interview process at that point. I do want to give you an update. And so we had asked that we would continue, and we were given that approval, that we complete our interview. We have completed our interview process to fill that FTE. It's an 8.75 position. It's for our food and vector environmental specialist position. We did interview 3 qualified candidates. We do have an accepted offer, though that offer now moves on to HR for continued processing. I also want to share our ongoing effort and a bit of a struggle to comply with Indiana Code 410 7-24. That is on temporary food events. And so we are blessed to have a lot of events and community activity here, but it's really important that we do follow the code. If you're having an event and you are serving food as a vendor or as an organizer of the event, that you need to be in communication with the health department. That is not because we're trying to put additional permits on anybody or any tag. It's important that we can speak to when all of a sudden there is a community outbreak of a foodborne event. We know who was serving food in this area at this time, right? If you're serving, something off the back of a truck, and I don't know you're here, and you travel on out of town, and all of a sudden we have an outbreak, how do I know how to get back in touch and to verify safe food delivery? So that's just really important. There are some exceptions to that. Nonprofits, certain tax-exempt nonprofit organizations may be exempt from needing a permit for an event lasting up to 15 days. So like if you were doing, if there was something, Covered Bridge, which wouldn't count because Covered Bridge is a vendor type of, it's being sold retail. But provided that their members prepare and label food and that the menu is not extensive. So if it's a local church doing a pork chop dinner, we know that's a nonprofit. We know where that happened. But when you're holding an event, you're holding a community fair, a community festival. We have several going on upcoming that, again, we are chasing to try to figure out who is serving, who is organizing, have they been permitted, all those details. So please, we would ask the public for their help with that. If you are an event organizer, please be in touch with the health department. Also, just several homes under abatement and remediation right now based on trash and health hazards. We are still in the process, working both with area planning committee, or area planning committee. I'm also just working with the homeowners themselves to try to help give them the support they need. Working with some of the town councils where these properties are located. We will bring additional steps as we move forward. Adult Protective Services is still available. We have been in contact with them as well on several of the properties just to ensure that we are maintaining the safety throughout our community. Thank you.
Melissa, thank you.
Thank you.
Other department heads? Stephen? I see you hiding back there. I didn't know if you wanted to make mention of some of the things that have happened with one of your staff members and his recognition or not.
Yeah, so, are you talking about the Facebook posts from yesterday? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, we had 4 staff members that were recognized by the Indiana Department of Homeland Security and Zoll Medical Corporation for a recent cardiac arrest save. Our crew did a fantastic job with the help from Clayton County Central Dispatch, Frankfort Fire Department, and I believe Frankfort Police Department was also on scene. And thankfully, this patient made a full recovery, and we got to give her a cupcake with a candle in it, sing happy birthday to her, and yeah, it was a really special event. So,
Yeah, that was great.
Okay. Do you have anything else to report at all?
not at this time.
You good? Okay. How about tomorrow? All right, any other department heads? If not, we'll move forward to the board business itself. So first up is claims. Under claims, Friday's claims for September the 5th in the amount of $2,413.72. Friday claims September 12th in the amount of $17,110.09. Biweekly claims on September 16th was $969,990.05. And last of all were court claims for September 16th in the amount of $12,025.13. Those are claims reported as of today.
Move to approve the claims.
And I will second that. Motion carries 2-0.
And I think we need to make another reminder that we have seen these, we have received these several days ago, so we're not just approving numbers, we've read these.
I appreciate that. Payroll. Payroll date August the 22nd in the amount of $587,884.52. And then also payroll for September the 5th in the amount of $560.58. Total of payrolls as presented.
Move to approve payroll.
And I will second that. Motion carries 2-0 for payroll. Our next commissioner meeting is going to be August the 19th, and then again on September the 2nd. So those are the next 2 commissioner dates.
October 7th.
I'm sorry, October 7th, yeah. Thank you.
Those are minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we approving
And then we
those?
need to approve the minutes for the September or for the August and September dates.
Move to approve minutes.
Both approved. Motion carries 2-0. And I apologize on the date.
Yeah, October 7th, the
Yep.
next meeting.
Is there anything else that needs to be presented before the board? Once, twice, 3 times? I appreciate everybody's attendance today and everybody's participation, and thanks for helping us out today. So
Motion to adjourn.
I will second the motion to adjourn. Motion carries 2-0.